What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the More Life Podcast. I am your host, Bart Aniston. If this is your first time that you are listening to this, please give us a follow, give us a like. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way we can make sure that we are connected with you and you don't miss any of the episodes. This week, I'm super excited. We're here with Shiv Gupta. Shiv is from Incrementors, a digital marketing agency that helps innovating solutions to improve your business. Shiv, please say hello to everybody, man. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for having me here. But I'm very excited to be here. I have heard a couple of your podcasts, and they are amazing.
Awesome. And Shiv, let people know a little bit about you know what? I'll even say, I read your bio. You have tons of experience. You said you've been doing this, learning and strategizing since you were 17 in the industry. And you've just been a student of marketing and of digital marketing. So I want to maybe let you explain, what is Incrementors? What is this business you've created? And what do you offer to your customers?
Sure. So Incrementors is a digital marketing agency. We help clients in generating more sales, leads, and revenue. We help them in strategizing their digital presence. We help them in increasing their visibility. We do this via a couple of services which we offer, like search engine optimization, content marketing, pay-per-click, email automation, right? Retargeting, remarketing ads, so Google, Facebook ads, all those sort of things. Our majority of focus is towards the organic growth for our clients, but yeah, we provide other services as well which are paid.
And you mentioned that you guys are based in India, but you have tons of clients in North America. So who's your niche client? Are you guys in the tech space? Are you guys more CPG, consumer good type businesses? Who are you trying to help? And the other question, is you guys I'm assuming are like more full service, where you can do all aspects of the business and really be like a full service solution for clientele. So who are you looking for?
So majorly, we are looking for clients who are looking for local leads. So clients from health niche like dentists, hair transplant surgeons, doctors, right, who have a physical store and who wants to increase the footfall at their clinic, chiropractors. So anyone who is looking for local services, they are our ideal clients, like who really enjoy working with us.
Awesome. Let's start a little bit at the beginning here. You said, you started doing this at a young age and you've been doing this for a while now. How did you get interested in marketing? How did you get interested in doing this type of work, helping, small or developing businesses?
So basically, it's pretty interesting. Like, I started my career as a web developer, right? I was developing a couple of websites, but later I realized that my mindset, or I enjoy planning or working on strategies for the marketing of our clients, right? And I worked on a couple of projects. Even though when I was developing them, I gave them a couple of interesting ideas of how they can market themselves. And gradually, I realized that marketing is my thing. This is something for which I was highly passionate about. And that's when I became a full-time marketer and stopped taking website development type of projects for myself. So I started my career as a freelancer. But right now, we have a full service agency. We have more than 100 team members as of now. And so basically, gradually, all of this started taking shape, right? I started getting a couple of referral-based clients, and I became a bit famous in my local community too. So I started getting some clients from there. Eventually, we expanded our network in the foreign countries as well, right? We started getting leads on our own websites, and that's how everything started. And right now it's Incrementors in front of you, in front of all.
I love it. There's also, the growth aspect that you just talked about, which is so it's great. I love it. You mentioned you started as a freelancer, and I'm sure you understand there is a difference between a freelancer and a business owner, because someone who's running a business is concerned more about the systems. There's no way that you can grow at the scale that you're growing and manage the team that you're managing. 100 team members is a lot of people. So how did you change the hat from wearing I'm the one person who's doing everything versus I'm now the boss or the owner, and I need to manage the company, manage the people, manage the sales, and do all of that management stuff, because it's two different roles.
Yeah, definitely, and it's a big journey, like from a freelancer to an agency owner. When I started, I never realized that it would be like such a interesting and challenging journey. So yes, like you literally need to change your hat from being a freelancer where you are doing everything to make sure that your team is happy and they are completing the work which they are assigned, right? Because a lot of people, they start giving excuses, but you need to deliver what you promise to your clients, right? Your reputation is at stake, so you need to make sure that all the systems, all the processes are in place, your team is happy, and they are interested in doing whatever they are doing. So how I started was, I basically started giving technical tasks to other team members who were interested in them, right? I hired few people who were interested in doing technical work, and I gave a couple of items here and there to them. I assigned them things, I explained them, I made proper tutorials for them. Gradually I learned that a member leaves after a while, right? So you need to have all SOPs in place. That's when I learned that you need to have all the SOPs, so that even if someone leaves, you still have everything with you, and another person can straight away jump in and work with those items. So those some of those aspects. Then later on, I started developing my own marketing team, my own sales team, so that they could service the clients, they could make the reach out to more and more potential people, right? The client relationship manager. So it all started taking shape one by one, right? Like when you start, you can never tell how it is going to be, and it just the magic happens, and it all starts taking shape. That's what happened with me. Later on,
That's really good.
Yeah, later on I realized the process, like the power of process, systems, and structures, right? Even now I am working on a couple of those, so we have all those in place, and that's the only way through which you can scale. Everything should be in line, your team should be very happy, your client should be very happy. That is the only way to grow, otherwise you cannot grow.
Yeah, the world that we live in now, it feels very digital. Everything is happening in a way that's like brands and companies, but at the same time, it is people who make this industry. At the end of the day, the person who is going to say yes and give you the credit card or write you the check is a human. So if you are concerned, or if you make it your priority to care about the person, to make sure they're happy that with the service and with the deliverable, that what you said you're going to, that ultimately is going to lead to more clientele. That ultimately is going to lead to you having a team of people that are going to be happy with how the business is going. They're going to feel fulfilled in their life. And one of the other podcasts I was a guest on, I talked about, the dignity of work. You feel good when you do a good job. You feel good when you do something that is a part of a bigger vision or a bigger idea. And you guys grew from something that was local to your country, like into what you mentioned, to overseas, to other countries as well. That takes a lot of research and analysis and preparation. What made you guys want to go to North America, and how did you prepare to do that? Like, did you have certain cities in mind that you were thinking, hey, I want to hit New York, LA, Miami? I don't know. Like, you let me know.
So basically, after working on few projects in India, I wanted to explore the outside world. I wanted to see whether whatever I am doing is valid in other regions as well, or there needs to have some improvement. And then I met my clients from Canada itself, right? They were partners. The name was Duan and Robert Nugaria, and they started teaching me. I was pretty lucky that I got such good mentors. They started teaching me all the marketing concepts, right? They purchased a lot of expensive courses for me as well. And once I started working with them, I realized that there is a huge potential and there are a lot of things which I needed to learn. So and I really enjoyed working with them. I really enjoyed working with them, and that's when I started taking more and more clients. And another reason is like in US currencies higher than Indian currency. So that's another reason, right? Like they were paying me better.
Even for us.
Yeah, even for Canadians, that's right.
Better.
Yeah, so that's when we started getting more and more clients, and they liked our work. So it kept on growing. Even in fact, right now, 90% of our clients are from US and Canada.
Wow. Wow. See, for us, we do, I would say maybe 10% US and maybe even less, like maybe 5% UK, but everything else is in Canada. But yeah, I understand, especially in the United States, the market is so big. There's just so many more. Let's say if you're targeting doctors, dentists, small businesses, there are just so many more doctors, dentists, and chiropractors than any other place, that would be willing to give you a fair amount of money to do local SEO or content marketing strategy. And that's really amazing, when you niche down to an area locally or by, industry, it can help you clarify your own message about how do I reach this person? How do I target them? What is something that they're going through that they need help with that I can then insert myself as the solution. In fact, with content marketing, actually, you know what? Before we even get to content marketing, Shiv, you mentioned something that was really good that I want to touch on, and that's having a mentor. I think a lot of people see digital marketers and they see us as individuals. Like even now, I see only you on screen. Like when I go to your LinkedIn profile, and when you go to my Instagram or LinkedIn profile, you see just me. You don't see the people that were there supporting and helping
That's
and
right.
giving advice along the way. It takes a lot of people to, like you said, invest. They gave you free courses. They showed you how to do it on this side of the world to get the right clientele. So it's great having mentors. Anything you want to say to mentors?
Yeah, it's very important to have coaches and mentors in life, right? Even you would have heard that the best doctors sometimes they also take another doctor into the surgery room and ask them just to observe and take notes, right? Because there are chances that you are making a mistake and you don't even know, and there are a lot of people who don't even know what they don't know, right? So you need someone to guide you along the way. You need someone who tells you what you are doing wrong, because you always need to have a third party who can take a look at what you have done and give you suggestions and feedbacks and help you in improving there. And couple of times procrastination takes place, right? And you keep on delaying the things. You need someone, you need an accountability partner to tell you, hey, stop right here and just tell me when you are going to complete this, right? Give me a deadline of your choice, but just tell me. And that's when like things from your subconscious comes to your conscious mind, and you start actually thinking about them, and you start thinking, okay, I need to get this shit done. Otherwise, no one wants to do those tedious or couple of things which we don't like, right? But ultimately you need to get those things done.
100%. I think, having people in your life to keep you accountable, that's something that's going to I think it never changes. I think no matter how big or how large a company gets, I think sometimes, if it gets big enough, you're accountable to a board. You're accountable to your sales goals, your bookkeeper, right? They say, listen, we said we were going to do this, and we now have to deliver on it. How do you guys leverage your team for sales? How much of your team is sales and how much of your team is technical or production, like they actually do the work?
So in sales, we only have 3 members. That's it.
Wow. Out of 100 plus.
Out of 100 plus, we only have 3 members who work on sales. We have a team of around 15 to 20 members who are doing marketing, right? So the reason why we have such less number of people in sales is because our sales cycle is very small, right? A lot of people who come to us or who fill out our form, they are already convinced that they want to take us as their digital marketing agency, right? Because what we have seen is it takes around 8 touch points for anyone to finally decide whom they want to hire, right? Or to take the decision. So our marketing team, our marketing strategies keeps on reaching out to them, right? Whether it is through different types of content, right? Whether they are on Instagram, whether they are on LinkedIn, whether they are on Pinterest or YouTube, right? Or even if they are on Google searching for something, we keep on reminding them about our agency. We keep on adding value to their life. We keep on giving them highly actionable stuff, right? It tells them that we are the expert in the industry, right, in which we are. And if you keep on reaching out to them, if you keep on providing value to their life, eventually they hire you, right? So most of the clients who come to us, they straight away just start with a small conversation and give us the project. So we are very lucky there. So that's the thing.
That's really good. Having a short pipeline of how people, that means you are having people who are A, self-segmented, B, self-qualifying themselves. They already know I want this. They already know that you will do something that I want. So they're already filtering themselves in your sales funnel and working themselves through the pipeline. And that's great. Having something like that is invaluable because that's a money-making machine that can then produce more and more and more sales. That's what's probably the driving force at the growth that you guys are doing. And in terms of your deliverable, what would you say is the number one thing you guys do? Is it SEO or is it like local content marketing? Is that what you guys do?
The number one thing which we do is search engine optimization. So that's what we are best at.
That's what you're best at. That's amazing. Let's talk quickly about, well, we can talk about SEO for a little bit too. Most people who run an agency, and this podcast is about creative entrepreneurs, about marketing, people who are trying to do exactly what you and I do on a regular basis, who are trying to grow a business. A lot of people have a mixed idea of SEO. Some people believe that it's very it's shady, it's not good. Everyone who tries to sell it is just trying to take money from them. And other people think of it like, if it doesn't work in the first week, then it was a waste of money. So how do you navigate explaining to people which is which? How do you go about telling people the value of SEO? The way I do it, I always tell people Google is just trying to answer the question. And there are ways that, you can make your website easier for Google to read and understand what content you have on there. But how do you go about convincing somebody, let's say you meet them at a networking event, that SEO is in fact a great way to help them and help their business?
Sure, that's a great question. And what if I tell you that both those people are absolutely correct what they are saying, and those two are two different statements, right? So basically, yes, a lot of people don't realize that just like everything out there, SEO is evolving. You cannot use the exact same strategies which you were using like 2 years back or 3 years back to do the SEO of your own website. So, for instance, every industry has couple of websites, a couple of top portals where they list the industry leaders. For instance, you can go on Google and type best digital marketing agencies in any country or in your area or wherever. You will see couple of websites ranking there and listing all the top agencies. Now just tell me one thing. If you would list your website there, for instance, one of such website is Clutch. Now just tell me this. If you list your website there on Clutch and ask couple of your customers to give you testimonials, right? And whenever someone searches about top digital marketing agencies or maybe top dentist in that particular area and your listing pops up, would that give you leads or not? That would, correct. So that is exactly what SEO is. You need to be available at the right time on the right place. That's what you need to do. But what people are doing is they are just focusing on creating backlinks. They are not working on providing the values, and they think SEO is all about that shady stuff or creating like putting spam out there, right? It doesn't work that way anymore. That was the Google of 2017 or maybe 2018, right? SEO is highly evolved. Things are improving. For instance, right now I am here. I'm on your podcast. We are having a nice conversation. At the end of the day, you will somewhere on your page mention to my website, right? It's a part of search engine optimization as well. So now your audience would listen to this podcast or maybe watch our video on YouTube, right? And if they like, they might come to my website, right? Or maybe hire me. So is that a good marketing or a bad marketing? You tell me that, right? Podcasts are evolving and we get a lot of clients searching about us through the podcast. So I am at the right time at the right place, right? So that is what SEO is about. You just need to have your presence on lot of different areas, lot of different websites, and those websites should make sense. So every industry has a podcast, right? I like all the readers, I would like to say that if it's possible for you to take out some time and be a guest or start your own podcast, that is a beautiful way of doing marketing, and that also comes into SEO, right? A lot of people just say SEO is link building, right? Just go out and do the spam and think that you are doing good, right? And that is the problem. The agencies which have not updated themselves, right? And if you hire such kind of agencies, then you are in trouble. But if you have hired a right agency, then you will just see exponential growth. So that's how it is. So SEO is more about just ask a question: will I get some quality traffic from this place or not if I am putting my link, right? If the answer is no, then don't put the link there, right? So the answer should always be yes. So if that's the case, even 100%. Like contributing to reporters, contributing to other websites where people actually go and read, right? If you are doing those type of things, that will eventually help you. So that's why I said that both of them are right. Some of them are using shady strategies or outdated strategies. That's why it's not working for them. And some of us are moving with Google and the technology. Right now, Metaverse is coming. So you need to learn about those marketing strategies. You cannot say, okay, I'm into digital marketing and I'll just stick with what I have learned so far. Right? You need to constantly evolve, constantly learn, right, and implement those things. So if you are doing that, you don't even need any marketing agency. You just need to go with the trend, right? That's what you need to do.
Yes, that's amazing. And what you said there is really good. The evolution of the industry will not stop. You can't just decide that everything, the way that you've learned it, is going to be the same way forever. there's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that are evolving all the time. Like you mentioned, the metaverse, Web 3.0. You got NFTs. You have cryptocurrency. There is the world is at a different pace right now. If you were tired before when the smartphone came out in 2009, you're going to be even more tired now in 2025 and 2030. It's going to be very, very busy. Okay, there's going to be lots and lots and lots of changes that are happening. The same way maybe my parents had a hard time with how the internet and social media kind of changed the world. I think people my age who are maybe 30 plus are going to have a learning curve to see, okay, how do I adjust to understanding even myself? 6 months ago, not 6 months ago, I guess it was May of last year, I started to say, okay, I have to learn about this blockchain and this cryptocurrency stuff because it seems like everything is moving this direction. And you take some time, you learn about it, then you say, okay, as an artist, as a creative, somebody who's a designer, what does this NFT business look like for me? How can we then understand, our avatar? Instagram just released, or Meta just released the global avatar, where your avatar can follow you across the platforms that Facebook owns, and it can have a digital wallet or a representation of your digital wallet and have all of your NFTs or cryptocurrencies or any digital assets that you have can be with you. What does that mean for a marketing agency? What does that mean for a designer or a creative? We even are starting to ask ourselves that question. Okay, what's our roadmap for the next 12 to 18 months to say, I'm sure there's going to be advertising space in the metaverse. Do I want to advertise there? Do I want to have a place there? Do I want to have a representation of myself on there? Because it seems that there is going to be a even larger potential, a more global and more connected potential in that realm. And you don't have to jump on every fad, but you have to calculate, like what Shiv was saying, you have to calculate, is this something that I want? Is this something that is going to benefit where my business is heading? I think that's super important for having good content in the right place at the right time. And also, in talking about content, Shiv, we really, I think we're in the most competitive age that we have now. Everyone's a designer. Everyone who has one of these is a photographer. If you have an iPhone, everybody has Canva or Photoshop or some app, Facetune. You can do anything. So how do you compete? You have to have really good content that is actually solving a problem for your customer. You have to have really good creative, meaning a very nice looking video, a very nice photo, so that people can see, oh, wow, this stands out from everything else. You're competing with a lot more people. And I think SEO also rewards you for having a good creative. If you're running, let's say, a paid ad, having a video that's not nice to look at or engaging is good. It's not going to deliver the same way. Same thing with if you're running a blog post, you want to make sure the content is really, really good, easy to read, and has great pictures so people enjoy it. That's what SEO is going to pick up on. Say, okay, people are spending time here. The creative is good. The backlinks are good. Yes, everything, all the other checkboxes are good, but at the same time, you're delivering something that, again, Google's just trying to answer the question. People are typing in, how do I build a house? And if you have dynamic content on your website that answers that question in schema, all that type of stuff, then people are going to get you. Eventually, you will get enough links to be on the first page. Or who cares about just first page? You can get lots of traffic on the second page too. Everybody can't all be on the first page, but I think people want that local answer to what for. Shiv, go ahead, man. I know you want to jump in.
Yeah, that's right. And like Google has lots of places, right, where you can be available, right? You can be available into the video section. You can be available into the 3-map pack. You can try to rank yourself organically, but you need to
Google My Business.
Yeah, Google My Business as well. So those are a couple of areas. where you can like showcase your business and try to generate more leads and more traffic towards your websites, right? So those are a couple of things. Plus, like you are absolutely right that Google is evolving, right? It is just answering the questions. In fact, since voice search is expanding now, right? Recently, I gave one of my podcasts on voice search, and it is so popular. So a lot of people now don't type, right? They just ask a question, how to create pasta, right? And it will just start detecting the recipe. That's how it goes. So a lot of things are coming, right? We need to update our website for voice search as well, right? And we need to make sure that we are ahead of the curve, right? If we want to generate or be available there into the market and showcase our expertise and authority, right? So these are the couple of areas which I feel are highly important, right? If you are constantly going out there and updating yourself, updating your stuff, it's very easy to generate leads, right? In fact, even we are in highly competitive industry, but like we generate leads easily, right? It doesn't make that much of a problem. And in other industry which are less competitive, it's definitely easy. You just need to go out of your comfort zone and do those things, right, which you need to do to get things done.
Yes, my marketing team, with our own promotion for our agency, they told me, we need more photos of you and videos of you for our social media. We see lots of growth when they associate a person to the brand and not just a logo to the brand. And so, yeah, I'm in front of the camera a lot with the podcast, and I do like a live webinar once a month. But taking photos of myself or getting professional photos of myself and doing reels and videos, that's not necessarily what I consider to be fun, but I have to do it. I got to step out of my comfort zone because that's what's getting the most engagement and getting the most amount of leads inside my email box is when people see me explaining it clearly. It's instead of me just using words and a graphic. That works too to a certain extent, but if I'm there as well, people are like, "Oh, I have a question," and you can start having a question, and that could be one of, like you said, one of the 8 touch points is a comment on a post I posted on LinkedIn or a comment inside of Instagram. That's one, and then maybe they give me their email, and they can be in my email funnel, and that could be 2 and 3, and before you know it, they go visit my website, watch one of my live webinars. That's 4 or 5. You know what I mean? You can easily get yourself to a place so by the time they're ready to make a decision and they fill out the contact form on my website, they've already made the decision. They've already said, okay, this is the person. He's already given me a free guide. He's already given me free information on his social media. I already watched one of his webinars. I already watched one of his lives. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now to move forward. And I think a lot of people, Shiv, are trying to get that. They're trying to get leads inside their email boxes, and they don't know necessarily how to do it. And a lot of times, they think just one aspect is going to do it. If I just post a lot on Instagram, or if I just send a lot of cold emails, eventually, my rate of return will start to grow, my conversion rate. But I think a holistic marketing or a holistic content marketing specifically is the best way to do that, delivering content in multiple places for different points of the funnel. We talked about, I think, the funnel in our last live that we did, the front of the funnel, the middle of the funnel, the end of the funnel. The top of the funnel is super wide. That's where you're going to get so much of the social media content, free, just awareness. Whatever you do in your marketing strategies for building awareness, that's going to be the best place for that. But like Shiv, I want to let you speak, man. I want people to hear how knowledgeable you are. Talk to us about building a content marketing strategy to get leads. Because I think at the end of the day, so many small businesses or agencies or even freelancers struggle with this one aspect. Because if you can get lost trying to do so many things. So what should I do if I want to get leads?
Like a lot of, like whenever you will try to understand or learn the concept of how to do content marketing or how to generate leads, right? everyone starts with the keyword research, right? And as you said, if a person is above 30 or like 35, and like it becomes very difficult for them to understand the whole concept of keyword research and then start doing the things, right? So instead of talking about that, I would just like to like talk to the audience in a different aspect, right? So every business has a couple of things, right? A couple of problems which they are solving, and if we start thinking in that direction, then that is the key to generate quality content. The most important thing is the intent of the content should be correct. You need to know about your target audience, you need to know about your buyer persona, and once you start creating your content, then the magic happens. Now, after working with a lot of clients, what I have seen is people, when you ask them whom do you sell, they just say we sell everyone. Right? And that's not how it happens. People don't even know like what age, gender, or demographics they actually want to sell. Then I came down to list of questions, right, which I asked my clients and encourage them to answer those. Once they have the answer of those, it becomes very easy for my team to produce the content or the content topics, and it becomes very easy for them to create content for their lifetime, right? So couple of questions are, I'll just read them out loud, are like the first question is, what would your target customer love to learn about your product or service before they buy? So obviously there are a couple of information related to your product or your service which your target audience wants to learn, right? So this is the first bucket. Just write 3 or 4 topics below this, right? And that is the first place from where you can start writing the content. The second is, whenever we go on sales, right, we face couple of objections, right? And a person might be in the buying stage and they want to get the answer of couple of questions, right? So the second question which you should ask yourself is, what questions about your product or service do your customers have before they buy from you? So just answer, like just type 3 or 4 questions which your customers usually ask you, and then answer those, right? And after that, like if you are highly passionate, right, if you are doing something, majority of us are entrepreneurs and we are very passionate about something, that's why we started the business, right? So you can have something like, what are the top 5 topics about your domain you would love to educate your customers on, right? And as we all know, couple of keywords we all have, so list down couple of keywords. So once you do this exercise, right, you just write out couple of topics and then you fine tune the heading a little bit, right, with a proper hook. That's what you can write content on, you can create videos on, you can work on your podcast series, right? These are the topics which your actual potential buyer is trying to get answers from. So if you are answering those questions, then obviously they'll reach out to you somehow, right? If they are searching on YouTube, they'll watch your video. If they are searching on Instagram, then they'll watch your infographic or something out there. So that's how it works. Plus, what I have seen is like we have a small formula which we say NDPP. So needs, desires, pain and problems. So you just need to think, what are the needs of my target audience, right? What are the needs? What are their desires? What they would like to have? What are their pains? Or what are their problems? And you can even go to extremes. What are, like, you can go and discuss about their fears, or you can go and talk about their fantasies. So for instance, I am into digital marketing, right? So the fear of some of my target audience would be like, am I working with correct digital marketing agency, right? There can be a case that they are working with the wrong agency, or what if they lose money, which you just said, right? Or they can have fear that what if people don't like my post, So they can have social fears as well. So just list down these questions, relate them to your industry, and then start publishing those. Or maybe if I talk about the pain points of my target audiences, they probably don't know their USP, or they don't know how to measure cost per lead, right? And if we talk about their needs, these are how to generate leads, or how to create content for marketing, or whom to hire for marketing, right? So these are a couple of questions which they are constantly asking them, right, in whatever stage they are. So if we start producing content on these topics, it becomes very easy for us to reach out to our target audience. You don't need any heavy keyword research, you don't need to do a lot of brainstorming, because what I have seen is a lot of people, they do constant blogging, but the topics are not related to what their industry is. Those topics are not what their target audience would be like actively searching for, right? So you need to make sure that you stick to your industry and then produce content based upon that. And once you do this, like no one can stop you, no one can stop you, right?
I love how everything has gone in a circle right back to what we talked about in the beginning, Shiv. Um, if you care about your customer satisfaction, if you care about making your customer happy, uh, you will have a great client. You'll get great referrals. You'll have multiple people because you're answering the question of, I don't know what I'm doing. How do I do this? Or I don't have time to do this. I wish I knew more about this. You are answering the question, and it's not about brands and logos and strategies and different KPIs and all this other stuff. It's about that connection you have. You recognize them as a human, and you say this person has a problem, whether it's a dentist who's not getting enough clientele, and you say, listen, I know how we can get you local people to find you on your website and book appointments. You're solving the problem. And if you solve a person's problem, you're never going to be without work, because people have problems. And all the biggest companies that you can think of, all the largest brands you can think of, solve a problem uniquely. Think one of the biggest brands like Tesla. People had made electric cars before, but no one had done it at scale. They did a one, and the car itself is not the thing that it's solving the problem. The problem has always been about the range. How far can you go? And Tesla, what did they do? The first thing they developed was a battery technology and a network of charging stations. That's the real problem. The real problem is people who have had, let's say, the Chevy Volt, which is a car in the U.S. That was electric years before Tesla, but not any. You couldn't charge it anywhere. You could only charge it at your house. So the problem was really the network of places to charge the car, the battery technology. Every brand that is successful solves a problem. PCs were great for programmers, were great for desktops, for home desktop computing, in the 80s and 90s. And then here comes something like Apple says, hey, how about the creative person? What if the person wants to use a mouse and not just want to use, the keyboard and the tab button to move around? What if we made an interface that would allow them to draw and allow them to print that drawing at their own house? They solved a problem. Everything that you like that is a major brand solved the problem. And I think that's where for small or growing businesses, people that are starting out, if you're listening to this, position yourself that way. Where am I uniquely different to solve someone's problem? Because like you said, there are some industries that are very competitive. Like marketing agencies, very competitive. There's tons of people there, and there are some industries that are not competitive. So if it's very competitive, how unique you are in your approach is gonna matter. But even if that's the case, where it's very competitive, as long as you're solving the problem and you're doing it your way, you're doing it in a unique way that's different from everybody else, that's your method, that's your idea, that's going to help you in developing leads, because people need that, and people are always forever until the end of time, whether it's here or whether it's on the metaverse. People are going to be looking for people to solve problems and help them go from point A to point B. Shiv, I'm so happy that you came on today, that we got to connect. I hope that we stick in touch even after the podcast, brother. Please let people know how they can connect with you, how they can find you online, and where they can get involved with Incrementors.
So they can reach out to me through my website. It's incrementors.com, incrementors.com, or they can search for my name on YouTube, right? Shiv Gupta, SEO Shiv Gupta Marketing, or my agency's name, Incrementors, on YouTube. They'll be able to find me there.
Awesome. Guys, this has been the More Life Podcast. Again, if this is your first time listening to us, we're happy you're here. Please give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube, and you'll be notified of every other podcast or video that we drop. I'm super excited for this new year. And Shiv, thanks for being on here, man. We'll talk soon. All right, guys, have a good one.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.